everybody is just excited as we are as admins for the announcement we have for the tier 2s and the tier 3s, guys. This is something major that happened last week. I will get into the detail in a bit. But yeah, there is a bit of an Easter egg hiding away in the attention T1, T3 display you guys are seeing at the moment. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes. I want to see if anybody can notice this little Easter egg that's hiding away in plain sight for everybody. So yeah, how's it quickly on the live stream here? We've got Mr. Captain Slow. We got Keycracker, of course, one of our admins, as well as Mr. 1988 Blue. I'm not sure who that is. John Fenter, Tian Boertes. How's it, everybody? I think Tian Boertes, that's Big T, if I remember correctly, in the past. So,
yes, that's correct.
Guys, you shouldn't have heard that. But yeah, so yeah, of course, there is a little Easter egg for you guys there. Of course, together with me in the booth tonight, I've got Mr. Clinton Cole, of course. He's going to help me with this. How's it, Barryfields? Oh, it's never N4MS Jeff. If I could read that correctly, Mr. 198. Barry Bailifield, of course, I know that is Warrior. So how's it, everybody? Rocker van Skalkwyk. Okkert van Skalkwyk. Sorry, not Rocker. Sorry, he's going to give me a lekker klap if I call him that. But yeah, how's it, everybody, on the live stream? Right. Let's get down to business. During last week, oh, Omar, how's it, man? Welcome to the live stream. Okay, so during the last week, we had a little discussion with a certain person. And, well, not a certain person, certain two persons. And we finally came to an agreement for something. So, without further ado, let me do this. And we'll have a quick chat in a minute. Of course, as you can see, Fusion has landed a new sponsor for you. The guys from Apex Academy, we all know them. It's Mr. Wheeze and Mr. Big T that jumped on board with us as a new sponsor for the Tier 2 and the Tier 3s. Of course, that's helping you guys a hell of a lot. So I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Big T. Unfortunately, Wheeze can't be here due to the fact it's a personal stuff. We understand it. But Mr. T, or Big T as we know it, guys, wow, this package these guys has put together for you as drivers is amazing. So, T, are you there?
Hello, hello.
How's it, T? Welcome, of course, to the live show. So, Mr. T, I'm going to hand it over to you. Please tell the guys what the sponsorship is all about.
No problem. Hello, everyone. Hopefully you guys can all hear me. Yeah, sorry, Reese couldn't be here. He's a bit camera shy, says he doesn't know how to talk in front of people. But yeah, no, we're definitely sponsoring Tier 1. I mean, not Tier 2 and Tier 3. So it's been a long day this side. And I would also like to say that it's not just prizes for just, the champions or first place. We actually have prizes each race, and we have prizes for the top 3 in the championship. So there's a lot to look out for. So because we know we're near the end of the game cycle, we thought what would be very nice is every race, if you win, you're welcome to come to Apex, let us know, and you can get a choice of either one setup or one strategy of the track of your choice, which can potentially help you in the next race or another league. And then going to the end of the season, so there's prizes for first, second, and third. It's a bit different between Tier 2 and Tier 3, so I will quickly tell you the differences. So Tier 2, the champion, you have a choice of 3 options, and then you get coaching included. So your 3 choices as the champion is you can either get all setups for 25 and all strats for 25. You can choose option 2 of all setups for 26 or you can choose all strategies for 26. Those are your three options, and then you'll get 3 coaching sessions on top of that. For tier 3, we decided to lean slightly more into more coaching sessions just because we felt like it would benefit you guys a lot more. But you guys also get options. You actually have 4 options. So your options are or setups for 25, option 2, or strategies for 25, option 3, or setups for 26, option 4, or strategies for 26. And then you will get 5 coaching sessions on top of that as well. As for second and third place for both tiers, you will get second a 25% discount coupon. And for third, you will get another 10% discount coupon on any purchases or services you make use of Apex as well.
All right. Jeez. T, that's amazing, my friend. I'm sure these oaks are going to get quite excited for this. Even me being a commentator is actually excited for them. Clinton, I know, how do you feel about this?
Fantastic news, man. I mean, this is at the end of the day what it's all about. And thanks, Tian, for being a part of this UNWEs. I mean, it only makes the group a lot better drivers. It brings them together better. It helps the etiquette of driving. It's look, we all do that so that we can try and get to tier 1, right? We always want to get better and faster. And guys, with something like this, it's actually invaluable to you becoming a good driver. So yeah, well done to these lads.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Well done to Wheeze. I caught Wheeze there in the chat. There, he said, "Sorry guys, I couldn't be there. Really would have wanted to be part of this sponsorship though, but unfortunately, life comes first. He has some previous appointments to get to. So yeah, guys, this is amazing news. This is wonderful news for the tier 2s and tier 3s. Of course, the tier 1s. T, just correct me if I'm wrong about this. Does the tier 1s also get a choice of a setup for them, or just the tier 2 and 3?
Tier 1's also welcome to do the per race prize as well. So if you win the race this week, you're welcome to come. The only reason I believe we went tier 2 and tier 3 is a lot of people in tier 1s in most leagues already make use of our services, and we also feel like what we aim for is we're aiming to better the community as a whole, and we feel like it will more benefit tier 2 and tier 3 guys versus tier 1 as well.
All right. So, guys, there you go. Tier 1, there's a little Easter egg for you as well. If you want, it's a late Easter egg, but it's there. Guys, I know you've all been chatting away there and wondering what's going on. Now you know what's going on. Guys, we've got a nice sponsorship from Apex Academy, from Tian, or Big T and Wheeze. Guys, let's support them as they are a huge supporter of Fusion for sponsoring our tier 2 and tier 3. Guys, tier 1, please don't forget, you also got a nice sponsor from Mr. Racer Race Sim Racing himself with a package, a full year's package of using his overlays absolutely free. That's also a major sponsor from Mr. Racer Ray himself. So yeah, guys, thank you. That's it. I think everybody is ready and up and ready for the main race for tier 2 and tier 3. Storming, you guys that's also with me here, thank you very much. You are welcome to leave as well. Tian, thank you very much from everybody from Fusion side as well. I think these guys will start battling now for this major prize that you guys have been sponsoring for Fusion.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
I would just need a list of all the winners so far this season so I can get them their rewards for their hard work.
100%. We'll give you that list as soon as the race is finished. We will send you the winners' names and he can contact you directly and you guys can sort that out between yourselves. I will send you by the end of the season 8 champions for tier 1 and 2. Of course, position 1, 2, and 3 for tier 2 and P1, 2, and 3 for tier 3.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Best of luck, everyone.
Good luck, everyone.
All right, guys. That's it for now. The guys, you can get ready for the main races and we'll catch you in a moment or two.
Welcome everyone. We are now live for Tier 3. So welcome everyone to Fusion Tier 3, Round 2 at Silverstone. Looks like it's going to be a sunny qualifying. And time to bring up all of our data and track maps. Alright, and we have a driver out on track now. So not entirely sure how to pronounce this name. Forza? Not entirely sure, but anyway, so the Mercedes man is out on track to set the benchmark for everyone else to try and beat. We have a Ferrari out as well. Name's Jeff. So Jeff is out along with Timmy Gunn in the Alpine. We have a train of 3 cars here of the second Ferrari of Doctor Who. I believe that's Ohm, as well in the Williams, and Peter in the Haas. Everyone getting out of the pits quite quickly to start their qualifying. The Italian legend also exiting, along with last week's race winner, Alfie JVR. And the only driver staying in the pits for now is Alan Buckingham, but that's because he has a quali ban. So, Silverstone. Quite a fast track. A lot of very high speed, flat out corners. I feel like in qualifying the high speed corners aren't such a major problem. They're actually very fun to drive, but it's the low speed corners that can really catch you out. So the final chicane, the technical section in the beginning of the lap. And let's take a look at Forza as he starts his first flying lap. Catch him going out of left field. Another tricky corner. I've lost many a qualifying lap to wheel spin out of that corner. Going through Cops, which is flat out. Now we go towards the famous Magazine Beckett's. Extremely high speed corners. Just simply dabbing the brakes, lifting off the throttle, breathing off the throttle between apexes as you try and keep a smooth, fast flow through those corners. Going into Stowe, one of the trickiest braking zones on the track, I feel. Now we go into the final club chicane. And here discipline is extremely important, as it's all too easy to get in the throttle too soon and get too much wheel spin and go wide and lose too much time. So that is a benchmark time of a 1 minute 27.8. Set by the Mercedes man, followed quickly over the line by Jeff at 27.9. So it looks like the 27s is where you want to be, very competitive time in tonight's race. I have to be honest, I think a 27 is a fairly quick time around this track. So some of these drivers are going to have their work cut out for them if they want to have any chance of snatching pole position. You're right on board with the Italian legend as Alfie goes to the top in the Red Bull. The Red Bull man continuing his domination as he takes provisional pole position by 2/10 of a lap. Let's take a look at what the Italian legend can do, but unfortunately his lap time has been deleted for track limits. Did we have anyone else about to set a lap? Doesn't seem like it. And Forza's going again. For another flying lap, so he had a bit of fuel in the car. Or around 5 laps worth of fuel. Going again into left field. I've never been able to understand this corner. I actually prefer it in the reverse layout because then it's a very clear-cut double apex corner, but in the normal layout it's a bit of a weird one. As we go through Cops into Maggots and Beckets. This is probably the most satisfying sequences of corners to go through on any track in the F1 game. The eye is open as we head on to, I believe that is the Hangar Straight. Could be wrong. Down into Club. And Fossa has already run out of EI's deployment. So you do have a limited amount of deployment that you can use over a lap. So it's not just the battery size, it's also FIA limitations that determine how much battery you can deploy over a single lap, and he ran into those limitations there. It's his Alfie on a lap. Looks like he is. Or he could just be rushing back to the pits, but it looks like it's a push lap. Burning EIS. Getting a nice tow from the Haas of Joshua Knott. You go towards into Cops. Slight tap of the brakes. Reeling the car in nicely towards Apex. Joshua Knott gets out of the way beautifully for him. Missed the Apex slightly off Club for both parts of the chicane. Straight lining the exit and setting a new benchmark of a 1 minute 27.4. So yet again another good lap from Alfie, and of course he did that with 2 laps of fuel, or 2 flying laps worth of fuel in the car. So I imagine he could still go faster. The Italian legend coming around for another lap, and he improves to 1 minute 28.9, putting himself up into 6th position. Ohm is the other driver on a flying lap. He has yet to set a time thus far. Maggots and Beckett's dropping down to 178 kph before burning EIS, opening up DIS, climbing up to 341 kph before hitting the brakes for Cops, or sorry, for Stowe, mixing up my corner names, going into Club once again out of battery deployment. And he is going to struggle for power out of this final corner as he comes across the line at 1 minute 31.5. Let's take a look at Jeff. What sort of lap time can he put down? Going down into Brooklands. Meeting with the Apex beautifully there. Keeping a somewhat tighter line through Luffield compared to some of the other drivers. So far looking neat and tidy. Can the Ferrari Superstar put it on provisional pole? We have to find 5 or 4 tenths of a second. 4.5 tenths of a second, I would say. That's pretty much 5 tenths of a second. Let's take a look. Going into Stowe. Keeping it on the track nicely. Going into Club. Oh, carrying in a lot of entry speed. Hits the apex, but goes a bit deep mid-corner. Let's see if he's able to find enough time, and yes he does! The Fryman, Jeff, up to the top of the field. The front of the field with a 1 minute 27.463. So once again, the battle between Jeff and Alfie is well and truly on. And Timmy Gunn had also rounded out a lap. I believe he might have improved up to third. I think he did. Peter is the next driver on a flying lap, so we'll see what he can do. Sector 2 time apparently a full second off the pace. We'll see if that remains the case all the way through these final couple of corners. Braking and shifting rapidly down from 7th gear down into 2nd gear. Down on the throttle through the final turn. And it is a 1 minute 28.5. He was not able to improve. And he was not actually burning any battery, so he's kept some battery charged for yet another flying lap. But obviously he is compromised now because he does not have a full battery to use. This means he will be losing out some time on a couple of the straights. And Fossa is starting yet another lap. We join Forza as he is on the national pit straight, going through cops. Down to 16% battery as he weaves his way through the Maggots and Beckett's complex. The eyes open, but I do believe Forza has already run out of battery, so he is going to lose a ton of time to this final sector. Did have Purple's second sector, but he has gone wide. He clearly bribed the FIA though, because no invalidation for that, so he gets away with it. But will that be? No, that will not be an improvement of lap time. 29.2. So either the lack of battery, or maybe a mistake early on in the lap, costing him a chance to improve. 4 minutes left of qualifying. Alfie has set a purple second sector and he is 3/10 up apparently. Let's see what he can do going through cops. Stowe, sorry, I keep thinking that's cops for some reason, it's Stowe. It's got a bit more battery to play with, so this should be a good final corner. Yep, battery used. And it's a 1 minute 27 flat, so the times just keep tumbling here. Alfie JVR, well and truly, laying down the gauntlet. He's got his eyes set firmly on that pole position, and it's going to be very tough for anyone else to wrestle that away from him. Anyone else on the lap? Italian legend, starting at another lap. Oh, but he's gone wide and almost off the track. And he's backed out of it. Oh. Is that Peter there? Yeah, it must be. He retired on track in qualifying. That's a bit strange. I wonder why he would do that. So let's take a look to see if the sole Mercedes driver in the field can set a time good enough to elevate himself into the top 3, or potentially even onto the front row. Let's take a look at him as he goes through Luffield, going very, 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 very wide. There's no banking out there, so not much benefit to doing that. Let's ride on board with him through Cops and see what sort of time he can do. Definitely in this section it's all about flow. You're trying to make sure you keep the car on the racing line, actually not going too deep in one corner and compromising the next, maximizing the exit of the final turn of Beckett's, but he's backed out of this lap. But he stays out on track, so I think he's realized that he hasn't got enough time to go back into the pits and refuel the car and have another go. So he has decided to stay out on track and accept that 4th place is as high as he will qualify. Gun looking quite solid in 3rd place. We do have Jeff going for another lap. %, 16% battery left for the final turn. He burns it, taking a tight exit once again. Across the line, does not improve, misses out by half a tenth. Although the game does say that he's hit purple sector 3. So valiant effort, but he was unable to improve much further. As we are now well truly into the final minute of qualifying, will anyone else be able to spring a surprise and appear on the 3rd or 4th rows? Can Timmy Gun put himself onto the into the front row? Be a mighty achievement if he could do so, and he does it! Timmy Gun up onto the front row. 2nd place with a 1 minute 27.3, just 3/10 off pole position. Anyone else on a good lap? We have the Italian legend striving for an improvement, but it looks like he has backed out of this one because his battery is recharging and he's lifted through Cops, and that is qualifying over. So your grid order for the race tonight is LVJVR in the Red Bull on pole position, followed by Timmy Gunn 7471 in the Alpine. Names Jeff in the Ferrari rounds out the top 3. Forza in the Mercedes is in 4th place. Peter 84 Fanierke is in 5th place in the Haas, and the Italian legend, the 2nd Alpine driver, is down in 6th position. Doctor Who 7th position in the Ferrari, Joshua Knott in 8th position, and the final 2 spots are filled by the Williams drivers of Ohm 0930 and Alan Buckingham. So it's going to be an interesting race. Some familiar names at the top, and some not so familiar names. So it'll be interesting to see how everyone works with each other, and if whether we will have any incidents on track. So the top four were all within a second of each other, with Peter 84 just missing out, being 1.3 seconds off the pole time. So that is your order for tonight's race. And we will all be hoping that everyone can make it through the first couple of corners cleanly and without incident. Until then, I'll be taking a small break, and I will hope to catch you before the race starts. Okay, we have already started again with the actual race. So we join the drivers on their formation lap. Let's take a look to see what tyres everyone is on. Yes, we do want to have it on interval. Okay, so mostly good on mediums. Jeff and Doctor Who once again the Ferrari drivers on the hard tyres for the first stint. Italian Legend on the soft tyres, Joshua not on the soft tyres, and Ohm on the soft tyres as well. But Ohm is not in the session currently. Oh, let me send him another invite quickly. So he had left earlier on. It seems like the first invite didn't quite work. Okay. Now we settle and look to the red lights. We wait for all 5 red lights to be illuminated. And when they go out, the British Grand Prix will be go, but no, we are cancelling, I suppose, because so many people got drive-throughs. Jumping the start, there was a collision before the lights even went out. Multiple drivers with a drive-through penalty. Fossa, Peter, Alan, and Italian Legend all with drive-throughs. Italian Legend already disqualified. I think we will have to restart this race because this is the messiest race start anyone could have asked for. Fossa fighting with names Jeff. We still don't quite know exactly what's going to happen here. And Timmy Gunn has challenged for the lead around the outside of left field. He's got ahead. He's got the lead from Alfie JVR. Name's Jeff, still in 3rd place on the hard tyres, remember. Fossa in 4th place. I have to say, I really don't know what exactly happened there at the beginning. Oh, and we've already got several cars off at the end of Beckett's. That's Fossa. Mercedes man is running quite high up in the order. Looked like as though Alfie was challenging for the lead there, but backed out of it last second. Yeah. I honestly don't know what happened there. Yeah, we've got several drivers in the pits. Alright, I honestly don't know what we are doing with this because, I don't know exactly what happened at the start there. Multiple people seem to release the clutch early. I honestly don't know. But anyway, so currently we have Timmy Gunn in the Alpine leading the race. Definitely a bit of a surprise. I was definitely not expecting Timmy Gunn to be leading this race. I was expecting it to be more of a fight between Alfie and Names Jeff, with Timmy Gunn hoping to pick up the scraps, but he's taking the bull by the horns and he's got the lead. Alfie JVR making multiple mistakes behind him, going off the track a couple of times, almost falling outside of DRS, but managed to stay within it. Do you ever move further back between Doctor and Joshua Not? I'm going to have to send another invite. Okay, we have a yellow flag. That is Peter. He's gone off. Gone off the track. Into the grass, and he goes back off again. I don't know what happened there. The game is refusing to show me any different angles. I can't really tell you. Alfie JVR going for a dive up the inside of Timmy Gunn. A little bit of teleportation going on, but Timmy Gunn is able to hold his ground around the outside, which then turns into the inside for Laffield. He's still kept the lead as we go into Cops. And Peter van Niekerk has got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Let me see if we can see again the game being the F1 game and being as difficult as possible. Timmy Gunn and Alfie JVR fighting for the lead of this race into Stowe. Around the outside for Alfie. Does he keep it? Yes, he does keep it. And he has retaken the lead of this race into Club. So Timmy Gunn, opportunistic at the start, taking the lead, but it has eventually fallen back into the hands of the Red Bull man, Alfie JVR. And now we will look to Names Jeff on those hard tyres and see if he can make up any ground. We are coming to the end of lap 6, and Alfie JVR on the Red Bull is currently leading with a gap of 1.3 seconds to Timmy Gunn behind in the Alpine, with another gap of 1.6 seconds to Jeff and the Ferrari behind. Alfie is about to lap Peter at 84 and the Haas, but Peter is on fresher tyres at this stage and on the hard tyres, so I imagine Peter will just be getting quicker and quicker compared to Alfie, but we'll see if that happens soon enough or if there might be a little bit of impeding going on. Joshua Not is in the pits, going off those soft tyres onto the hards. And it looks like as though Alfie is not really able to close the gap to Peter in any way. So I imagine things will stay as they are between those two. Currently the Ferraris are 3rd and 4th, both of them on the hard tyres and both of them looking pretty for some decent points this evening. Ohm is still out there on his soft tyres, 16 seconds off the back of Doctor Who, and Peter sets the fastest lap. As I suspected, his tyres are giving him more grip than Alfie's tyres at this stage. So Peter goes from almost being lapped to pulling away from the leaders. Further back we do have Joshua Knott on those fresh hard tyres catching up to Alan Buckingham. Alan, who has yet to pit. Joshua Knott, who has pitted onto the fresh rubber. And let's see if he can close the gap and overtake Alan Buckingham without losing too much time. Currently, Names Jeff has closed the gap to Timmy Gunn quite nicely. He's now within a second. He'll be feeling the benefits of that slipstream and soon the benefits of DIS. But he will have to endure the pain of dirty air for now. He has just about dropped outside of a second gap from Timmy Gunn. So that means that Jeff will not get the DIS. And indeed he does not get the DIS on the hanger straight. We have two battles brewing here as well between Fossa and Ohm, and Joshua Knott and Alan Buckingham. Joshua not quite close enough to make any move into Maggots and Beckett's. Timmy Gunn in the Alpine has decided to call it a day on those medium tyres, and he's in the pits. After 8 laps on those medium tyres, Fossa goes for the move on Ohm into Stowe, but goes very, very deep. Almost let Ohm through again, but just about managed to hold on to the position. And Joshua Knott unable to make any progress on Alan Buckingham. Timmy Gunn is going to exit the pits just in front of Fossa, I believe, or just alongside, just behind. Let's take a look and see. Yes, side by side into village or farm or whatever it is as we go into the loop. And that is Fossa, who's just about managed to stay ahead, but now Timmy Gunn does not get DIs. So Fossa was behind at the DIs to take some point, manages to get ahead, and then gets DIs as an added bonus. Can Joshua not make a move here? Oh, Peter's off again. Same place. Did not impede the leader, which is a good thing, because I imagine Alfie would not have liked to have been hauled up by another driver there. Let's take a look. Timmy Gunn right up behind Fossa. He's got very fresh tyres. Gap is 3/10 as we exit the corner. The eye is open, the eye is being burnt. Timmy Gunn getting close enough for a move here into Stowe. Goes for the inside. But Fossa is very, very late on the brakes, hoping to try and hang around the outside, but is unable to do so as Alfie JVR is also in the pits. I believe Alfie can take his tyres through to the end from here, but for Timmy Gunn, might be a bit of a stretch for him, so I imagine he will be calling. Yes, he will definitely be pitting again. In fact, Timmy Gunn and Alfie will both be pitting once more as they have fitted the medium tyre rubber into all 4 corners of the car, and Peter having a day to forget off in the grass on the outside of La Field. And Buckingham caught up to his teammate. Now, of course, keep your eye on Names Chef and Doctor Who, because they will be going along on those hard tyres and hoping to come out of the pits much later on in the race with fresh tyres. And I hope, or wonder, if Names Chef is on a one-stop. Because if he is, then that could be a race-winning strategy for him. As we see Alan Buckingham making the move on Ohm, followed closely by Joshua Knott. We had a flow of penalties coming in. Let's take a look at that quickly. So Timmy Gunn with a 3-second penalty, Alan with a 3-second penalty, and Peter with a 10-second penalty. So for those who have not stopped yet, include the Ferraris, Bossa in the Mercedes, Alan Buckingham, and Ohm. Ohm still going extremely long on those soft tyres. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. He surely must be in puncture territory by now. He is going very slowly, so I do wonder if that is a problem for the Williams man. Alpha JVR just hit the new fastest lap of 1 minute 30.3, I believe it was, as Alan Buckingham makes his way into the pits down to 60 kph, pit limiter activated, and he'll be getting off those medium tyres as quickly as possible. And Ohm carries on for yet another lap on those soft tyres. I am amazed he does not have a puncture yet. James Drift still going strong out in the front. He has a 15-second gap to Alfie, who will be rapidly closing down that gap. But remember, Alfie has to pit again, and if James Jeff is on a one-stop, could end up working out brilliantly for him. Doctor Who also showing quite a bit of pace here, staying within 3 seconds of his teammate. A good race brewing so far from the American. We do have another pit caller. So we have a couple of people quite clearly on the one-stop strategy. Let's bring up the tyres once again. So Alan Buckingham, very much on a one-stop. Forza, also very much on a one-stop. And at this point, Ohm has to be on a one-stop. He finally pits, still somehow without a puncture. 11 laps on a soft tyre. That's insane. And Forza exits the pits in 6th place, 19 seconds down from Joshua Knott, who gets a 3-second penalty as he goes off the track. So for names Jeff and Doctor Who to make this into a one-stop race, we'll be looking at pitting around lap 15. Go from the hard tyres onto the medium tyres, and from that point on they should be able to take them all the way to the end. But let's see. Doctor Who displaying extremely good pace at this stage of the race. Rapidly closing that gap down to his teammate. It's now under 2 seconds. Doctor Who having an amazing race here and at the front of the field. And Alfie JVR has yet to fully close down that gap as he has a back marker in front of him. I believe that is Peter once again. And once again, Alfie JVR will be desperately hoping he doesn't lose too much time here. He'll be calling out for those blue flags to be sown. Does not want to be held up here. But the gap is closing down to Doctor Who, who's still rapidly gaining on his teammate. 7/10 now. So as Alfie JVR closes the gap down to 7 seconds between himself and Doctor Who, Doctor Who is challenging for the race lead. The two Ferraris almost going side by side down the Wellington Straight as indeed through goes Doctor Who. James Jeff leading him through and pitting. Doctor Who is flying at this stage. And we see Alfie JVR has been able to get past Peter 84. James Jeff pitting. It's going to be somewhat tough for him to take those mediums to the end. It is still possible, but he will have to manage them slightly. So this is your battle for the race lead. Alfie JVR and his medium tyres trying to catch up to Doctor Who has made his way into the pits at the end of lap 15. Onto lap 16. And there's Doctor Who going 1 lap longer than his teammate, going on to the mediums. Setting himself quite nicely on a one-stop strategy. Could work out extremely well for him. And for those of you who heard Cooper's announcement earlier on, I do believe I heard it correctly that the race winners of Tier 3 will get access to a setup and or a strategy of their choice. So these guys here, they are fighting for a prize, and a very real prize at that. But currently it is Alfie JVR on the Red Bull leading by 6 seconds, 6.8 seconds to Timmy Gunn in the Alpine. Just a little bit further behind. 11 seconds down the road is Names Jeff. And Doctor Who further 3.7 seconds behind. The top 4 currently on medium tyres, and everyone from 5th place downwards on the hards. Now this is huge. Names Jeff with a 3-second penalty as Alfie JVR and Timmy Gunn both make their way into the pits at the exact same time. This will almost certainly hand the race lead back to Names Jeff and 2nd place back to Doctor Who, but how close will Alfie be? Will he be close enough to take advantage of that 3-second penalty and take the lead. We'll take the race win anyway. This pit lane in Silverstone is so brutal. Feels like it takes forever and you're tooting along at 60 kph. Just waiting for the end of the pit lane to show itself. So Alfie JVR, 8 seconds off the lead of this race. But he is on new hard tyres. And they'll almost certainly just become better and better in Jeff's medium tyres as the laps tick by. So in terms of constructors, Ferrari looking extremely strong, with both of their drivers currently filling out the top 2 positions. Red Bull, of course, looking strong with their driver in 3rd place, still challenging for the win. And Josh Van Aert enters the pit lane to get rid of those hard tyres. Down to 30 kph he goes, making sure he's well under the speed limit. And that elevates Timmy Gunn back up into 4th place. Let's take a look. Peter 84 with a faster lap of 1 minute 29.9. He is within the top 10, so he will get a penalty for that. Not penalty, excuse me. He'll get a point for that. We don't offer penalties for fastest laps. That would be quite hilarious. So the majority of the field with a 3-second penalty. Only 3 drivers without penalty so far: Doctor Who, Alfie, and Ohm. Peter 84 currently with the most number of seconds in terms of penalties, with 13-second penalty. Currently, the top 2 have only made a single stop. 3rd and 4th have made 2 stops, and 5th and 6th have also only made a single stop. Alan Buckingham with yet another 3-second penalty. And Alfie JVR gets the fastest lap once again with a 1 minute 29.678. And he has closed that gap down to Doctor Who to 1.7 seconds. James Chef will be hoping Doctor Who can pit on the Mexican Minister of Defense style of defense. Do the Abu Dhabi 2021 Perez defense on Alfie JVR and hold him up for several laps and for several seconds, so that Names Jeff can hopefully run away, build up a big enough lead so that he can still keep the race win despite that 3-second penalty. And Alfie JVR with a 58% full battery compared to Doctor Who had just over 70%, so Doctor Who well and truly equipped for the fight, and he'll be hoping to keep Alfie JVR behind him for as long as possible as Alfie goes deep once again in the dirty air. That is going to be the one thing in Doctor Who's favour, is the clean air that he has and the dirty air that Alfie JVR behind will have to suffer with. Going into the infield section, going towards the loop and entry. Alfie JVR going very, very wide on the exit, going off the track even, giving him a horrible exit. That allows Doctor Who to hang on for one more straight, continuing to hold up Alpha JVR. We have 6 laps left to go after this one. And Doctor Who doing an excellent job of defending and keeping the Red Bull driver behind him for now. To go in towards Cops where Dirty Air is so extremely powerful and painful through, but Alpha JVR keeping a good, neat, tight line through that corner. Is he close enough to make a move down to Stowe? He's got 80% battery. Doctor Who only 55%, so this could be a move on for the Red Bull driver. He's burning his ERs, gaining rapidly. Huge speed gained with that DRS. Goes for the move up the inside, but ends up semi-backing out of it. Doctor Who not giving up whatsoever. And Alpha JVR finds himself on the grass on the inside, having to cede that overtake. Lap 21 out of 26. This is the fight for the lead of this race that you are watching right now. Doctor Who only 1.3 seconds outside of getting the lead of this race, because name's Jeff, remember, he has a 3-second penalty. And Doctor Who also fighting for his teammate, in that he's fighting to keep Alfie behind him, so that Alfie cannot get within that 3 seconds. But it does not matter, because Alfie has dived up the inside into Brooklyn's, and it looks like he's going to secure his position into left field. Doctor Who's still fighting, never backing out. But Alfie JVR is finally able to make the move stick. And I'm afraid at this point that Alfie will be able to close within 3 seconds of name's Jeff to get that race win once again. And again, I remind you, name's Jeff on those medium tyres, he is up against it to try and take those tyres all the way to the end. He pitted at the end of lap 14. Not the most ideal pit lap to be going from the hards to the mediums, to take the mediums to the end, but he will almost certainly have to try to do that now. Alfie JVR already within 3 seconds. So if the race was to be finished right now as it is, Alfie JVR would be your race winner. Timmy Gunn still going on strong in 4th place. We do have Joshua Knott on 4-lap old mediums, catching up to Adam Buckingham, who's on 10-lap old hard tyres. Both of them with penalties, I believe. Alan has a 6-second penalty, yes he does. But of course, these drivers will still try to overtake on track, because that is always the most satisfying way to move up the field. Going through Cops, both drivers going well wide off the track. And again, Dirty Air, I emphasize, is extremely powerful around here. You have to be so conscious of it and mindful of it all the time that you can't carry the same amount of speed through these corners when you're behind someone, because the amount of understeer you get is just crazy. And here we are. Alfie already within a second of Jeff, and he will most certainly want to take this race victory on track and not just in the steward's room due to penalties. He wants to cross the finish line first. He wants the record books to record that he crossed the line ahead of everyone else. Let's see, Alfie following closely through Max Beckett's a good line through Beckett's, good exit. And you know what, I don't think there's a whole lot Jeff can do here. Alfie with a good amount of straight line speed, DI is working very well for him. And he is able to make the move very easily. And names Jeff did not have an answer to that. And currently Jeff will lose his second position to Doctor Who as well, because Doctor Who is 1.7 seconds behind. Once again, Doctor Who producing very good end of stint pace, as we have 2 laps to go in this race. Well, 3 laps to go. There's 3 laps to go, including this one. But I think that's because I'm on board with Joshua and not so fast to go up. No, this is indeed lap 24 out of 26. And we see Peter serving his 10-second penalty in the pits. Very long wait as he finally gets a soft tyre compound fitted to his car, and he will be charging for the fastest lap. I am almost certain of it. Doctor Who now within a second of Jeff. Will be mindful of punctures on the final lap. About to be 10 laps done on those mediums for him. He's right on board with Doctor Who as he goes through the final couple of corners, starting lap 25 out of 26, the penultimate lap. James Jeff leading his teammate through. That's teamwork for you. And Alfie JVR passing Ohm, lapping him. Doctor Who currently looking very, very strong for second place. Trying to take a look at his front left tyre to see. Yes, Jeff's front left tyre definitely looks worse for wear than Doctor Who's. Alfie's obviously looking the best out of the 3 of them, because he is of course on the hard tyre compound. It provides a lot more support at this track, I think. Definitely in terms of the structural integrity of these tyres, there's a bigger difference between the medium tyre and the hard tyre, as we see Ohm getting out of the way, making sure he doesn't hold anyone up. Obeying the blue flags being shown to him. And he also lets Names Jeff through. Tommy Gunn is actually closing up to Names Jeff at a fairly rapid rate. So I think Jeff is definitely looking after these tyres, trying to make sure he doesn't get a puncture on the final lap and bring his car home. As we now start the final lap, Alfie in the lead. The Red Bull man looking to continue his domination so far this season. He won the first round. And it looks like he is set to win the second round as well, but Doctor Who makes an appearance on the podium. He's looking solidly set for second place. Jeff, though, is not entirely certain that he will finish on the podium. I imagine his front left tyre is not looking too good right now. And he is being very cautious in these corners, trying to make sure he does not overstretch that front left tyre and get a puncture on the final lap. Because of course Timmy Gunn is not too far behind, and I do believe in terms of penalties they are on the same number of seconds. 3-second penalties for both of them. Timmy Gunn though is still only 2.5 seconds behind, so Looks like Jeff has done enough as Peter84 has taken the fastest lap at 1 minute 28.6, scoring himself an extra point. And through the final turns, as we watch Alfie JVR in the Red Bull come around the final turn to take the checkered flag for the second time this season, it is Alfie JVR on the top step of the podium. Doctor Who rounds out the second step of the podium and names Jeff, just beats Timmy Gunn to the line for the third spot on the podium. Timmy Gunn in fourth place in the Alpine, as we see the newcomer Fossa in the Mercedes coming across the line for fifth place, 18 seconds in front of him, 18 seconds behind him to the next driver. And in Buckingham, that front left tyre not looking at all good. Looking all sorts of gnarly and mottled and everything there on the rubber. But he comes across the line to secure 6th place. Joshua Knott finishing out in 7th place. And Ohm, of course, he was lapped, so he has already finished down there in 8th position. And Peter84 will come across the line with a 6-second penalty, but he has the fastest lap, scoring himself an additional point, and since he finished 9th, he will score that point. And there we have it. The race winner, Alfie JVR. Fastest lap holder, Peter84. Driver of the day, Doctor Who. And most overtakes, Doctor Who as well. We go through and capture all of these warnings. Okay, and there we go. That is the end of round 2 for Tier 3 for Fusion Racing League. Certainly some interesting strategies playing out there. Alfie JVR once again taking the win with a 2-stop strategy, making the overtakes when he needed to make them, and a very good drive from Doctor Who, displaying amazing pace at the end of his stints, and I definitely think he had the best pace for one-stop strategy, and he executed it beautifully, so kudos to him. And names Jeff, again showing a lot of pace, but something's not quite going his way, but again, a very strong, very solid podium. So that's it from me. Thank you all for watching. I will be streaming again on Wednesday night for the Tier 1 race, which is also happening at Silverstone, and hopefully we can avoid getting any punctures. Bye bye everyone.